and throw Tex Hoyder. They're more cohesive, they're more threatening with the ball. I haven't changed my mind from last week, Wilco. We talked about what we thought went wrong with Leeds Rhinos last week. I want more from my 6 and 7. I want Aidan Caesar to boss. You said to me at the start of this game, well, last week they didn't get the momentum, they didn't get the meters. What are you saying now?
Yeah, they've had it and they've not been good this week as well.
Strong run from the kickoff from Sam Lisoni for the Leeds Rhinos. Remember, Leeds still without some key characters here tonight. There's no James Bentley, no Harry Newman, no Aledzki, the big figure that they are missing. And of course, Hull still waiting for Jake Truman's return to fitness. But anyway, the second half underway. Here is Myler sliding into touch.
That is, you know, if we want to arrest the second half decline that Phil Clark's pointed out in his stats at half-time, where Hull, you know, conceding tries in the second half, well, they've just got to be more connected in defence, actually come up with some big defensive plays, and to concentrate and focus. For me, defence is an attitude.
Thanks, John. Let's go down to the sidelines, get some news from Jenna.
Yeah, thanks very much, Bill. Just to let you know that Leeds forward Morgan Gannon came off in that first half for a head injury assessment. He has since failed that head injury assessment, so he will now have to sit out for at least the next 12 days, given those changes by the RFL to the rules.
Yeah, the protocol has changed. Thanks, Jenna. So that's bad news for Morgan Gannon. Bad news for Leeds Rhinos to lose the services of the talented 19-year-old been playing at standoff in the pre-season games. Meanwhile, here is Josh Griffin for Hull FC. Into the shaded end of the field. They had a concert on this pitch in January, part of City of Culture show, and that's why that part of the pitch is a different colour. Meanwhile, here's Cameron Scott. Nice first half try scorer, Joe Lavadua. Lavadua going for it himself. He's held up.
Just over the line. It's going to be tackle 5 on the 10.
Ash Hanley is underneath.
Straight back, tackle 5.
Lavadua goes left, goes right, decides I'll have a look myself, but Cameron Scott, it was his defensive extra effort that got possession back for his side.
They'll get one more tilt in this set. Can they do anything with it? Tex Hoy, no they can't, because Griffin couldn't take that short pass, and it's Myler who comes up with it for Leeds.
Yeah, it was Leeds' turn to come up with some good defence. Tex Hoy just drifting sideways, trying to pick Griffin up with a tight line. An error there, but good patient defence. You've got to credit Leeds with just not presenting any blemishes in their line. Unlike this.
Nene McDonald. Nene McDonald is away. McDonald is away, rampaging down the middle of the field and then losing possession after all that. What a run that was from the PNG International, but somehow Hull survived.
I'll somehow, it's not somehow, it's an unbelievable chase back from Darnell McIntosh. An unbelievable chase back. What a break from Nene McDonald. And McIntosh managing to just rip that ball out. Huge defensive play from him.
There's big anticipation on what he's going to bring to this right edge. Looks like he's holding his right arm. A bit of strapping applied during the break at half-time. Might be his left arm, should I say. But good acceleration and evasion from the centre.
Carving his way through that whole defence he was. Here is Tex Hoy now.
4, square up Blake!
Yeah, it was massive. Huge chase back. Darnell McIntosh just gets a bit of it. It's a big chase back, huge break from McDonald.
Kane Evans has tried to offload that ball and that's gone wrong, and Leeds have it back.
Go.
Here's Donaldson now. Thumping tackle on the Cumbrian.
Hold! Go.
He was a meat in a black and white sandwich. There was James Donaldson.
Go!
Not nice.
He's run 10, he's run 10.
You're not going to put him off, though, are you, James Donaldson? He'll keep running that ball, keep running that hard.
Austin, oh, that was high.
I think it's Kane Evans again. He was the one with the loose offload.
Just come over the shoulder, just caught him.
He's a big man, isn't he, Kane Evans? Yeah, not too much, just over the shoulder.
Yeah, it was more of a pull than a hit high, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So the penalty goes the Leeds Rhinos' way, and it gives them an opportunity to venture into Hull territory. Here's Sam Lissoni, bang in front of the post, about 15 metres out. Here is Blake Austin. Austin short ball, and Leeds cough it up, and Hull will bring it away with Tex Hoy.
I'm going to
Down
say
on
it
the
again.
sideline is Gareth Ellis, Hull FC assistant coach. Gareth, what's the priority to start this second half?
I think there's been some big improvements. You know, we spoke a lot about our defence from last week, and we've seen plenty of sets where we've shown that improvement. I think offensively, I think we just need to throw a little bit more at Leeds. You know, start pushing with each other and playing every play rather than waiting for that big one.
There are there's sort of moments of frantic play from both sides as well. Somebody's going to have to keep their cool at some point in this game.
Yeah, that's a massive part of the game, is, you know, not giving in to that frustration when things are not going your way. I think, you know, that's probably the first team that does that. Will take a bit of a stronghold in this game.
Thanks, Gareth.
Tackle 5, Ozin!
That's a good point.
Come on, make it, Cruz.
Neither side have got
tackle
a
5.
grip on this game. That's why it's still 10-6 in Hull's favour. Fifth tackle, and Myler comes for it. And Clifford got there and made the tackle, and Leeds supporters didn't like the tackle, but referee Jack Smith didn't see anything wrong with it.
Because there was nothing wrong with it, Bill. It's just a good chase. Well timed from Clifford. Made contact with Richie Myler, and this is where Gareth Ellis and Tony Smith will be looking to really press Leeds and restrict their yardage. Fair challenge, just patient, stays on his feet, there's nothing in it. Good kick chase. You're looking at me, Barry McDermott. What are you thinking?
His feet are off the floor. I've no problem with it. I'm reminded by Ian Proctor, our researcher, that 10 years more or less to the day since Gareth Ellis came as a Hull FC player back to the ground where he once played and damaged his Achilles.
40-20.
40-20.
Oh, it bounces back in field.
What about the bounce?
That was going all the way.
I got ball on the back, mate.
Oh, it's just one of them. Blake Austin, he kicked it, he followed it, he's celebrating, and the last bounce deceived him.
Sorry, mate.
It turned into a leg break, didn't it?
Yeah, just keep going, just keep... Oh, no, they're not going to keep going. Oh,
Good work, Zane.
how disappointing for everybody.
Wow, what a let-off that was for Hull, because it was a great kick up until the final few metres from Blake Austin. Now then, here's Kane Evans going round the outside, a little flick from him, and they keep the ball alive. Lane across the field, signalling players to run, and Griffin does just that. Swift in support, Swift's got the legs, Swift has got the pace, and has got the try, and Hull have gone from one end of the field to the other. A cracking try from the black and whites. And Adam Swift just turned 30. 2 tries last weekend against the Castleford Tigers, which took him to 500 career points. Has got his 3rd of the season with that try.
Offloads, offloads, offloads. That's what you get from a Tony Smith side. Here's the attempted 40-20 from Blake Austin. It just bounces the right side of the line for Hull FC, but the big fella is coming off the bench, Kane Evans. It hasn't gone all his way, but he starts it. There's the second one, and he's inviting a player onto the ball. It's a wonderfully timed, wonderfully weighted pass from Jake Clifford, and all the experience in the world from Josh Griffin just feeds Adam Swift. It's Jordan Lane who provides the pass. He sums this up perfectly, and that's not an easy skill, to speed up, slow down, give the pass, and Adam Swift and Hull FC get another one.
Yeah, what about Gareth Ellis' message, though, to us? He said if people just push in support with each other, well, it takes somebody to lead that, and Josh Griffin just went, nah, I'm going to push with Jordan Lane here. He punched the line, Leeds weren't expecting it. Fantastic support play from Adam Swift. Great try from Hull, great try.
Jake Clifford, this should be a formality for him to extend Hull FC's advantage.
Michael Short, let's kick off. Time back on.
No problem.
Blake!
Clifford with his second success of the night, 16-6.
I gave the credit to Jake Clifford because I thought it was a halfback that delivered that pass.
Yeah.
But Jordan Lane, he did his best imitation of Jake Clifford.
It was that good you thought it was Jake Clifford.
Correct.
All stay, lads. Everyone's on side. It's gone 10.
Gone short kick-off.
Back.
Told you, didn't I?
And they'll get the ball back.
They love a short kick-off, Leeds Rhinos, this year.
Hold, go. Tackle off.
So Leeds need a response. Here's Darrell Alfords.
Move, Chris, and square.
Former Castleford man who had a great season last year, got a career best 18 tries in the Castleford colours last campaign. That's what's lured him to Leeds, or what Leeds decided to go for. That finishing power.
No. Two great carries from Leeds Rhinos. James Tetevano and then Sam Lazzoni in his haste to get up and play the ball. It doesn't matter how quickly you play it if it's not legal and it's not good enough for the referee.
Yeah.
It's a let-off for Hull, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
It's just details, isn't it?
It is, but I was just about to say this is a big period of the game for Leeds because, look, they're down here 16 points to 6. In the back of the mind, they'll have the Warrington defeat. You know, if they could get back into it there, the chance, but that you've got to make the most of those opportunities. They're so few and far between in a game like this.
I think it was Danny Maguire before the start of the game said you don't want to be at the beginning of the year searching for that first win, putting yourselves under pressure every time you play, so the result is more important than how you play.
Hit the 10, Sam. Tackle 4, Sam.
It was a fierce tackle from Ben McNamara. Now here is Clifford. Griffin.
It's a good carry from Griffin again.
Last tackle. Move
Combination with
together,
Clifford's been really nice on this left edge for Hull.
Fifth tackle. Tex Hoy is in position to launch the kick. Myler comes to get underneath it, who claims it at the second attempt. Fusitua almost getting in his way as that ball came down. Leeming, the Leeds supporters getting a bit impatient.
Move together.
They've been second best in the second half, haven't they?
There's some frustrated fans on the stairs on the way down to the toilet before.
Warrington 26 points to 6 up at Huddersfield. Wigan 44-0 in the second half. What about that Warrington score?
Started the season is tremendous form, hasn't it?
Giants fancy to be among the contenders this year, but to go to...
I'm certainly in that camp, Bill. Huddersfield Giants and Ian Watson.
Meanwhile, Adam Swift is back to gather that kick and try and get out of trouble, but it's a good chase from Leeds.
Good chase from Leeds. Well, great chase, connected with the kick. Good kick to the corner, and then just a solid line presented from Leeds. And to build on that, now you need to really push, get off your line and just pin Hull back.
I don't want to burst your bubble, but Warrington won the first 3 games last year. Getting off to a good start isn't as important as keeping that momentum.
It is for a Warrington supporter when it's, not that I am, but when it's your year.
It's the manner of winning and losing though, isn't it? And much like Leeds might be stinging from how Warrington beat them last week, Warrington have gone out and looked like they're going to produce some brilliant performances here at the start of 2023.
Meanwhile, Hull are in possession, and Jake Clifford having plenty of time to put that kick in, make some yards and then put that kick in. It's Darrell Alfords who'll run it back, and then the reception committee is there, led by Joe Cater. Here is Ash Hanley, part of the leadership team here at Leeds. No specific captain, but a group of players with leadership potential.
It's a bit weird, isn't it?
Jared O'Connor, his 24th consecutive appearance.
What's the thinking behind a group of...
Clearly there's not one individual that can lead from the front.
Sangare offloading that ball, and it's come up.
Before he got on the field, I said how impressed I was with him last week. Looks like they're going to get the benefit of the doubt, but the decision to offload it, I think, is the wrong one. When you're in that position as a big man, you've got Is it Brad Fash underneath you, driving you back? You've just got to take your medicine, get down and play your ball quick.
Little nudge, though, from Danny Houghton there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
And that's cost Hull possession.
Get tight, Ben. Come here. Ben, no, here. Come on.
Looking at the referee to ask
Shot clock off, ball's out.
the basis for that decision. Danny Houghton coming off the bench. He came off the bench against the Castleford Tigers last week and still ended up the top tackler. And that ball's been ripped out.
Steal, one-on-one steal,
says
Clifford. No, one-on-one steal.
First one
knock-on.
was...
Oh, he's cheeky, Jake Clifford, and he's all over.
This is one-on-one steal.
I think he's snatched at the ball. He's pulled it towards him, therefore backwards.
Yeah.
And he's saying there's a knock-on. Is it Jared O'Connor?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
It's very close, isn't it? You've got to just look at who's in contact. Clifford, yeah. He's smart. He's a smart footballer, isn't he, Jake Clifford? There's no doubt about that. But
All the best halfbacks are thinking of every which way to try and cheat the system, aren't they? And gain an advantage.
From the Artful Dodger school of half-back skills. And then
Leeds get the ball, Bill, and Leeds get a chance to put some pressure in.
they get the penalty.
Cheers, mate. They'll get a bit erratic this.
So the usual scenario, knock-on, penalty,
Move, Hull!
and a real opportunity for Leeds to strike back, and they need to do that. Coming up to the hour mark, they trail 6 points to 16.
Go, tackle 2.
And we asked whether Hull's defence would be examined. Here is Sangari with a strong run. Lovely offload, leaving under the sticks. And French international Justin Sangari serving up the try to Cruz Leeming. And Leeds do strike back, and Leeds do capitalise. And Cruz Leeming, his try has given Leeds a lifeline here.
And oh boy, did they need that, Bill. Huge moment in this game. And it just took Blake Austin to be direct and just feed Sangari into a soft part of the whole line. It's McNamara just with a bit of a weak contact, and then great support play. But how direct Blake Austin was made that. It just isolated Ben McNamara, and then Cruz Lehman with the fantastic support.
That's a lovely offload, isn't it? It's in his right arm, he's offloaded it right. His Leeds Rhinos fans are thinking it's a little bit awkward at the minute with 2 games in, it's not going the way that we want it. Well, listen, propel yourself into the future and think of a game where you've got Tom O'Rourke, Mikolaj Aledzki and Justin Sangari taking the team forward.
And Martin does what he does consistently, converts, and 12 points to 16. Sangari was like a butler, handing that ball to Lehman.
Like a silver...
pass.
With one like some Chenin
Platter.
Blanc, sir.
Should have white gloves on.
Yeah, but Lehman with the finish. I maintain that was created by Blake Austin. How direct he was, just got defenders interested enough that you feed this big man, Sangari, into a much smaller man, Ben McNamara. That mismatch is what created that try.
Really interesting character, Justin Sangari. There you go. Touchscreen later on will be either Cruz Leeming or Jake Clifford, depending the outcome of this game.
Here we go.
Leeming might have, with that try, have considerable bearing on this contest. Sangari, born in Mali, raised in Toulouse, and discovered rugby league when Toulouse Olympics development team visited his school.
And do you know what his favourite team was? When he was taking an interest and watching it on TV, do you know who we like watching?
Go, tackle 3.
The team in blue and amber.
Dream for him, then. What a dream.
Dream come true. And he's certainly making a big impact. He needs a couple of people behind him, just like Jared O'Connor's doing now.
Last.
But Phil Clark made a great point in the studio. If you could benchmark Leeds' velocity of carry versus Warrington, it's just unrecognisable.
Texoy gathers that ball at the second attempt. But once again, at least he got his body pointing towards his own try line.
said the same thing last night, and it was something Gary Connolly said to me years and years ago as a fullback. He never wanted to let his feet leave the ground because he needed those small adjustments in the last metre or two. Obviously, when you've got defenders around, you need to get above those defenders and people who are trying to snatch it from you.
It's Kane Evans playing the ball. Word coming in from Wigan, where they are absolutely putting Wakefield to the sword. Liam Marshall has scored 4 tries for Wigan tonight, and I don't think they've finished yet. 5th tackle. And Myler is underneath it. Good chase, good follow-up. And it was Scott Taylor. What pace from Scott Taylor.
He doesn't like the attention, Richie Milo. There's a mistake made there.
Tavano's come up with the error.
It's Daryl Alfort's Bill. Daryl Alfort's in backfield.
Myler's still going at Scott Taylor. When the tackle's completed, there's an accusation that there's a twist or a tweak around the foot. Let's have a look at it. He's done his best to get there. He's got hold of a leg, and does he take an extra twist? Now, Scott Taylor, I'm not sure that's in his game,
no,
but I don't like the look of that.
Well, I don't like the look of that either from Daryl Alfort's, to be honest. He's known for his play 2 carries. Richie Myler not happy. I'd be more than happy about the Daryl Alfort's drop ball 10 yards out from your line.
Yeah, what a place to give up possession, because here is Tex Hoy, and Hoy taking on the Leeds defence. And then Leeds are offside. Jack Smith just explaining.
No, it's not breaking early, mate. It's here.
Tex Hoy then.
Yeah, you're all right.
And another opportunity. Here is Josh Griffin, Donaldson, Sangare stopping his progress. Just to the left of the post. There you can see Leeds back on their own try line. Danny Houghton. Step from Jake Clifford. Myler comes in to help Donaldson make the tackle. 2 tackles gone. Houghton just manages to avoid getting into obstruction trouble there, and then takes the tackle, and Hull getting into all sorts of a tangle there. Here's Joe Cater. Leeds holding out here into the final quarter of this game. Cater trying to extract himself from Cameron Smith's tackle. Tex Hoy on it comes to Jake Clifford. Clifford stabs a little kick in, and first to the ball is Justin Sangare. He's quickly turning himself into a bit of a favourite with the Leeds supporters here.
Yeah, it's nice from the big man to get down on Jake Clifford's kick. There's just too many feet, legs, obstructions in the way for Jake Clifford to thread that ball through and maybe build some pressure or get a repeat set. Nice from Sangare.
Relief from Leeds Rhinos, but one of the few occasions where Hull FC have got down that end of the field and haven't left it in a really compelling way, a really emphatic way. Jamie Jones-Buchanan, well,
Johnny Bairstow alongside him watching this game, and Leeds breaking through. Cameron Smith has got support from Leeming. He gives the ball, and he gives the ball to Cameron Scott. Cameron Smith, Cameron Scott.
Cameron's
Hull comes up. Oh, he knows it.
Oh, Cameron.
And I think that's one of the occasions where a big man has to give it to a little man early.
Leeming was on his inside.
Just giving him. He's got Ash Hanley.
Look, as well, can we give Cameron Scott credit for getting back there, for even getting in the frame? Now, that sort of effort is the thing that stops tries being scored. A massive effort from this young guy to get back and stop Cameron Smith. It was a poor pass from him, but great effort from Cameron Scott.
Try scorer Cameron Scott, try saver there for Hull FC. We saw Johnny Bairstow. It's been a great day for Yorkshire on the cricket field with Harry Brook and Joe Root's performance for England against New Zealand, both scoring centuries. And Leeds hoping to make it a big night for Yorkshire with a victory here, but they trail by 12 points to 16, and that ball's gone backwards from Myler.
Well, it's not a night for the fullbacks, is it? Oh. They all seem to be high, and they all seem to be, even when there's nobody around, they're under pressure.
You know it's big when it disappears out the floodlights.
Yeah.
The ball disappears into the darkness and then it comes back into the light.
I bet Johnny Bairstow was wishing he could disappear with Jamie Jones-Buchanan at the side of him. I couldn't get the words out of my mouth. What he doesn't know about cricket, Jamie Jones-Buchanan, in his mind anyway.
Here is Ash Hanley.
Timing, Jordan!
Now Darrell Alfort's doing well to skip away from the first line of defence, but it's Jordan Lane who makes the tackle on him. 4 tackles gone.
Tackle 5 off the ball, Brad!
Driving run.
He's almost dropped that ball, hasn't he, Tom Holroyd?
Flashes in there. And it's Blake Austin.
Big storm over Wigan.
Kick, and Tex Hoy comes and makes that look so easy.
This is perfectly poised, isn't it? We've got 15 or so minutes. You've no idea who's going to come away with the 2 points. The game and the ascendancy is swinging from side to side.
And Leeds will be encouraged. That break from Cameron Smith is just off a nice, crisp piece of ball movement. And the more they can do and challenge Hull, the more that doubt, that second half, lapses in concentration are going to happen or likely to happen.
Darnell McIntosh plays the ball. Here is Scott Taylor. Scott Taylor already working on his post-career business, which is in the car trade.
Boise.
That looked high on Dwyer as he went on the run. Clifford stabs a little kick in. Lovely hands from Fusitua to pick that ball up off his toes. Good chase, though, from Ben McNamara to make the tackle on him.
All right, just log in, pal.
There's Blake Austin. Booming pass out wide to Hanley, who is away. He is away down the sideline, and he's got support from Austin. Across comes Tex Hoy. Another opportunity goes for Leeds, and Blake Austin buries his head in his hands.
For all money, you think Ash Hanley is going to in and away the fullback, but he wasn't confident. It's a beautiful ball, an ambitious pass to one of, if not the fastest player on the pitch. And when Ash Hanley is in full stride, all manner of questions are going through his mind, but he thinks the easy option is to find the support inside. And the moment, I think the split second that Blake Austin looks at the defender in front of him, the ball appears.
Hey, let's talk about Tex Hoy, and let's talk about how you play fullback. Well, he chased back and he left those attacking players. Ash Hanley had no idea whether Tex Hoy's going to go.
Listen, it's great defensive play, but that's the second time they've blown it, Wilco.
I agree. You're praising the attack. It's fantastic. What great ingenuity from Blake Austin. Hanley's gone down the side. They've fluffed it from there, but Tex Hoy's played a part in that. He was just, he made a bit of indecision.
I'll tell you when the ball's in. Let's go, out!
Scrum breaking up because of, I think, a little bit of a disagreement between Justin Sangari and Brad Fash. I don't know if it was about hairstyles.
There's only one winner, isn't there? Yeah, but Barry, you're right. They have to take those, don't they? That your point is absolutely right. They've got to. If you're creating chances like that at this stage in the game, there's 13 minutes left. Take one, Leeds.
It's clear. Surrender.
Yeah. I just love Tex Hoy getting back into the play.
I think Blake Austin looks at Tex Hoy at the point the pass is put in.
That look forward, and he's dropped it.
He's pulled a knock-on rather than the forward pass. Jordan Lane with a beautiful offload there. There's the knock-on.
Tex Hoy was trying to keep it moving, wasn't he, I think?
He's saying what you're saying, Wilco. There's a hand got to it, but at the point that the hand gets to it, then there's a fumble, isn't there?
Leeds have got to take a chance. They've got to take a chance. They're making chances. Take one of them.
Leeming. Here is Darrell Alfords, and Fash is there to make the tackle as Alfords threatened to break, and Leeds are threatening to cut through this whole defence. Set restart signal. Jared O'Connor bumping off the tackles. Fash gets a hold of him. O'Connor stays on his feet, but not for long. Just inside their own half of Leeds. Set restart is signal. This is a big moment for Leeds.
Off the ball, Jordan!
Coming up towards the last 10 minutes of the game. A game that's still in the balance. Hull with the lead. Here is Austin. Austin losing the ball almost. Leeds, 20 or so metres out. Leeming, Sangare. Sangare looking to offload again. Hanley was there. Leeming with a little run, and then gets the pass away and almost intercepted. Clifford was going for it. This is just, at times, this is crazy.
Millimetres, isn't there? He knows what he wants to do, Cruz Leeming.
Clifford read it though, Barry. Clifford read it.
Leeming knows, but so does Clifford.
Yeah, too many people knew about it. And keep it under wraps.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're good. 4, 5, 6. 3, 5,
So
6.
Leeds will get head and feed once again. 10 metres out.
Time off. Yeah, it's all right. Ready. Yeah, we're all right. Brad, get down and in. Shot clock off.
Massive opportunity for Leeds. Big test for Hull's defence. Hanley. McNamara comes in after the tackle from Cameron Scott. Darrell Alfords. Austin, on it comes to Cameron Smith. Dwyer gets a hold of his former teammate, who just inches a bit further forward.
Reece Martin is screaming for the ball.
Gets the pass to Jared O'Connor. Fash down low. All-action performance from Fash here tonight. Leeming's pass. Holroyd with the charge. And Holroyd is tackled just short of the line. Danny Houghton critically down low to take his ankles. Leeming gets the pass away. Caesar over the top. And it's David Fusitua with the try to level the scores. And Leeds hammering away at this whole defence. They've blown 2 opportunities. They eventually take one. Well created. And David Fusitua with his first of the season to level the scores.
Well, you can hear the atmosphere now, you can hear the crowd. It's 4 for Fussy. There's the wild pass, the ambitious pass from Cruz Leeming. And from the mistake, I said it a few times, Reece Martin is screaming on this right side. He can sense, he can feel, he can spot the opportunity. Ultimately, it's not him who gets the ball. And a nice over-the-top pass from Aidan Caesar. Right foot step, in and away, bang, bang. And it's 16 apiece, kick to come, Reece Martin.
Fussitu's had a good night. I've been impressed with his strength of carry coming out of his own half. What a fantastic finish from him there. He set the benchmark for me for Leeds in terms of getting them on the front foot and then to come up with the bit of quality they needed just when they needed it.
And Reece Martin to put Leeds ahead. And he does just that. Reece Martin, his run of successful Super League goal kicks ended at 39 against Warrington last time out. He's back on a roll. That's 3 in a row from him tonight to give Leeds an 18 points to 16 advantage.
Bill, look at Adam Swift here. Look, he has to slow it down. If we slow it down, Swift has to go too hard to the sideline. That opens up his inside shoulder. Bang! Right foot. Fussitu's in. Great try from Leeds.
Whoa, what a game this has been. 18 points to 16. You saw Rowan Smith looking on it, very calm. Leeds, under him, have not lost at home. 6.
I do not believe this game is over. They're in front on the scoreboard there, but failed to collect the short kick-off. There's more points in this, I'm certain.
Well, they've got under 10 minutes to get them. Oh! Hoy takes Hoy trying to find a way through. Here's Brad Dwyer, what he'd give for a try in his former home ground. Brad Dwyer, 121 appearances for Leeds, 35 tries and 1 famous drop goal for Brad Dwyer against the Castleford Tigers on this ground. Completely took everybody by surprise, that one, including, I think, Brad Dwyer.
And David Ferney, if I remember correctly.
Here is Dwyer now, serves the ball up. Chris Satai gets it away to Houghton. Houghton, McNamara onto Tex Hoy. Hoy trying to cut through. That'll be the turnover.
5th tackle
Scramble.
It's a right footstep. He's taking the risk, taking the gamble, but the fullback denies him. Offload. So important for FC.
Good scramble from Leeds though, Barry, wasn't it? Just to get numbers around.
Let's go down to the sideline, get some news from Jenna again.
Yeah, Bill, Liam Sutcliffe has just come off for Hull FC. He's getting treatment on what looks like his chest. He's just placed some ice on there. He looks to be in a bit of pain. The Black and Whites have also used all of their subs now, so they're going to have to play the next 7 minutes or so unchanged.
And then they lose the ball to Leeds, and Dwyer picks it up, or pops it up, and it's Josh Griffin who'll bring it back. And Griffin gives the pass to Cameron Scott, and Scott almost found a way through. It was Austin who made the tackle there, about 20 metres away from that Leeds line. Hull looking to get back in front here. Here is Clifford. Clifford is brought down inside that Leeds 10. Plenty of tackles this set, and Chris Satai will drive it in against a Leeds defence that is probably tiring now. Short pass, Scott Taylor! Scott Taylor has scored the try that has put Hull FC back in front. When it came to it, it was a simple front rower's try. Give me that ball, I'm going over. And Scott Taylor, who'll be 32 on Monday, has got an early birthday present with that try.
Oh, well, Scott Taylor, there's loads of ways to score rugby league tries. Some are pretty, some are creative, and some are not. And that wasn't. That was sheer will, strength of carry. Tony Smith will be delighted. But it came from Nene McDonald just trying to offload the ball. Brad Dwyer's hands are on it, but that was a massive error. And then this is just Scott Taylor saying, look, Cam Smith, you're not having it. This is our night. Big, big try.
The mistake here is the referee and Cam Smith. He's confused, he's discombobulated by the fact that the referee's in the defensive line.
Oh, Jack Smith, get out the way. Scott Taylor wasn't bothered.
It's a great finish, isn't it?
Scott Taylor made his professional debut on this ground for Hull Kingston Rovers in 2009. Still going strong, Scott Taylor. And I mentioned his car dealership. He's in partnership with somebody. I think the word is he's just sold a car to Saints darting legend Michael Smith.
I saw that.
But he's just sold a car now, Bill.
Yeah.
I was like, how's he managed that?
I thought he was going to say he was in partnership with Boise.
I think it's a bit more respectable than that. Some big news coming about Scott Taylor next week, apparently. I hear from the Hull FC camp as Jake Clifford converts, and Scott Taylor's try, Clifford's conversion. Hull are back in front. Leeds are running out of time.
Yeah, it was like a big diesel fall before there, wasn't he, Scott Taylor?
It was created, wasn't it, by Brad Dwyer? I said on 1 minute we wouldn't bet against Brad Dwyer getting over for a try. Well, it went one worse or one better, depends what your perspective on it is. He set it up on a plate for his front rower.
Yeah. Leeds have, they thought they'd got the ball back, they'd batted the ball back, but first to the ball was
He's not been
Danny
tackled.
Houghton.
He's not been tackled. Voluntary tackle, Bill.
You're right.
Massive.
Cam Smith did exactly the right thing. Arms up. I've not tackled him, mate.
Massive, massive play. Massive play.
And Danny Houghton looks incredulous at that decision from Jack Smith, but it was the right decision.
What does this remind you of? Chris Joint grand final. Chris Joint, Mick Withers. Big play.
You're older than me, Wilco. I can't
But
remember.
this time they're penalised. So what an opportunity this is for Leeds. 4 minutes to go. 18 points to 22. And Myler is flattened by a Hull FC tackle. That's a good run from Sam Lissone. Lissone playing the ball. Austin could tackle that from Brad Fash, who has been outstanding for Hull this evening. Can Hull withstand the pressure? Reece Martin rides the first tackle.
Tackle 5, stand
Hull eventually stop his progress.
This is it.
On the last, Austin's kick is crossfield, and it's claimed
It's a poor
by
kick,
Cameron
Wilco.
Scott.
It's a
What a
poor-
night he has had.
It's a poor kick, Bill.
Not enough hang time on that. You're right, he's had an excellent night, Cameron Scott.
If we just contrast that to Jordan Abdul's kicking game last night, we watched Jordan Abdul pulled that on the money over and over again. Looks like something's gone on here, Bill.
In that last set of 6, you want a half-back, you want a pivot player to be decisive. Get me over there, this is what we're doing. Everybody understanding through verbal and animated communication what they need to do for the team. Tony Smith from the sideline. I don't think he'll be breathing out, exhaling the fact that his side has won this game yet, because it's been that kind of game, hasn't it?
Yeah.
But you have to say that Hull FC have been the better side.
Yeah, it's been a great game. And just not knowing what's happening. Look, Jordan Lane's just... It's gamesmanship, this. It's gamesmanship.
I think he's
slowing it
I think
down.
he's caught a hit from Cam Smith.
Yeah,
He's going to end up on the sideline if he's down with the green card.
Tackle 2.
It is going to be a head injury assessment. The signal going to the sideline that Jordan Lane's going to have to leave the field. The one club man in the Hull side, Jordan Lane, having
That's what the rules brought in place for.
made his debut on this ground in 2018. Meanwhile, and Joe Lovadu will come back on. Meanwhile, Hull fans still celebrating that Scott Taylor try, his first in 4 years. What a time to come up with it, Dwyer.
There it is.
Crucial run from him.
Show and goal.
Big one.
Relieving some of the pressure for Hull FC. 2019 on, then they've lost the ball. Hull have lost the ball. Coming on to 2.5 minutes to go.
Sure, man, Bill Cameron Scott. We've only just finished saying how good he's been. He just drops his chips.
It was an awful pass from Darnell McIntosh. Why? He has just wazzed it at him as hard as he can.
He doesn't need to spin that, does it? He's a winger, Wilco.
Jack Smith calls time off. Coming up to 2 minutes to go in this contest. And it's still within the grasp of the Leeds Rhinos. And Myler tries to duck under the challenges, but Fash gets a hold of him. Surely must be leading the whole tackle count, Brad Fash. He's got through an awful lot of work.
Got to be more decisive from Leeds. Caesar, stand up.
Lissoni plays the ball. Here is Caesar. Here is Blake Austin. Austin is driven back. Great work from Taylor Loverdoer and Houghton to send him back where he came from.
Make the 10, Joe. Go first.
3 tackles gone. Here is Justin Sangare. Sangare will try and offload. But Taylor clinging on to him. Loverdoer there again, and so too is Danny Houghton. 4 tackles gone. Leeming it comes to Austin. Austin tries to sell the dummy. They weren't buying it, were Hull. 5th tackle. The kick needs to be a good one. It's Leeming, it's Caesar who kicks crossfield this time towards Fusitua. It's too strong. He hangs his head in disappointment, shakes his head in disappointment, does Fusitua, and the opportunity goes begging for Leeds. Caesar asks questions.
Two chances, 2 kicks. They didn't create anything through their attacking sets, so they've had to kick the ball, and it's 2 poor kicks, one from Blake Austin, one from Aidan Caesar. Fussitua's fuming. Aidan Caesar asking questions of his teammates. He's just got to get that kick right.
They've got to ride out the final minutes of the 80 here in frustration. Former teammates Leeming and Dwyer in each other's clutches. Tom Holroyd getting a talking to from the referee, and I think he'll tell Hull just to play the ball. Just calming that situation down, because it has been, when you think of how evenly balanced and how close this contest has been, it's been played in a fantastic spirit. You know, there's been some really fierce,
There hasn't been
fierce
time
tackles.
for pushing and shoving,
There
has there?
hasn't. Set restart signals.
It's been a great game, Bill. I've really enjoyed this game. Fast-paced, frantic at times. Quality's been there too.
Wilco, it's been an improvement from Leeds' perspective in their attitude. They've approached this game very different than they did the one last week, but there's still some glitches there. Hull FC, it's 2 from 2 from them.
Tony Smith looking on the sidelines and celebrating on his return to Headingley with his Hull FC club, who've made it 2 from 2 at the start of this season to inflict back-to-back defeats on the Leeds Rhinos. And it's brought the best out of Hull again, has Headingley. They've won now 5 here in a row. Leeds close, but not close enough. A big improvement on last week's disappointment. But Hull, there were questions asked going into this game about their defensive capabilities. They hadn't been tested. They were tested tonight, and they stood up to that test.